Hello, hello, hello. Happy Wednesday. About to get started. I'm CounterTop Commander. I don't know if anybody's really listening right now quite yet, but I play some Commander games. I play only Commander games, and I play it specifically in Physical Magic. So I mean physical cards. I stream about a couple times a week, and I don't know. It's uh, yeah, I play whatever I want on Wednesdays and sometimes Thursdays. On Sundays, I play some beginner decks and I do kind of a little teaching and showing how to play Magic. So if it's been a while since you've played or you want to learn, then that would probably be the stream for you. Uh, I have decks kind of specifically geared for that, but on Wednesdays I kind of play whatever I want. I own a whole host of different commander decks, literally every color combination, and pretty much every strategy that you can think of, almost every strategy that you can think of, at least in sort of some form or fashion, even chaos and group hug, which sometimes can be the oddballs that you don't necessarily want to see, but I've tried my best to cover all my bases. So tonight we have a elemental tribal deck with Horde of Notions, and it'll be a sort of a sub theme of Dredge a little bit, so I can take advantage of the cards in it, and we'll see that with stuff like this card, Life from the Loam. Let me push this up just a little bit so that we get a little bit more of the board here. Okay, so we'll do that. Followed that up with my what I affectionately call my Bowzer deck, which is Calamax, and it's just straight burn. It's a bug burn. No, not bug. Rug burn, basically. Oh, that's a weird phrasing. Red, blue, green. Anyway, the next deck after that will be Queen Marchesa, which I'm sure I do not pronounce it correctly, but that's just how I pronounce it. So Queen Marchesa, and because she's the cheesiest. No, she has she commands a damage control deck. So it's using the old core creatures, the very first ones that have damage redirection, and then there's just a slew of other damage redirection effects in the deck. And the very last deck that we have will be Volrath, the Shape Stealer, and it is a mutate deck. It's one of the several mutate decks that I tried to build after Ikoria came out. You're not going to see, just FYI, you're not going to see a whole lot of really, really new cards in the decks that I play. I play pretty much everything Kaldheim and prior to that. I don't have any cards past Kaldheim. It's just not really my thing right now to get the newest stuff, so I'm settled just fine on what I have. But let's go ahead and get started with this Horde of Notions. I started with a decent hand here. We have essentially two mill cards. We have Epiphany at the Drown Yard and Life from the Loam, and then we also got one of our favorite elemental cards. Outside of that, we got two different. Sorry. Ugh. We have two different fetch lands, Flooded Strand and Verdant Catacombs. So that's going to go really far in helping out getting Life from the Loam on board, and also getting us into Horde of Notions territory. And then after that, we do have a nice high market here, so that we can reuse effects. We can sacrifice an elemental and then bring that elemental back with Horde of Notions. So that seemed like a good hand to start with. And nice. We have another elemental, so Knight Incarnate. That's pretty good. Let's go ahead and Verdant Catacombs ourselves into probably some type of dual land. Let me go ahead and do this. I wonder if, you know what? I think our lighting is a bit off tonight. Let me see if I can improve it a little bit. That's a little bit, but not quite, I don't think. Let me adjust this here. That looks a lot better. I think that gives us a lot better light on this, on our play surface. Yeah, there you go. See, now you can see everything. Okay. I'm still messing with camera stuff. I don't have it down yet. And as you can see, I'm using light from kind of one direction, so yeah, there is going to be a little bit of shading. Sorry, I was going to do verdant catacombs here. Oh, and also wow, sorry, I had something a little spicy tonight. Let's see. We have our life totals. I'm going to start trying to use this life total app. It comes off of the MTG Nexus website if you ever want to use it. So we're just going to go ahead and do that and make that. Oh, no, that's not what I want to disappear that. There you go. Okay. So that's what I'm going to use to keep track of the life totals. I may not do every single one. Like with these fetch lands, I might not show every single step, but I'm going to try to show a lot of the steps. So we're looking for either a swamp or, let's see, what do we have in our hand just in case somebody exiles our graveyard out of nowhere. So, I mean, green is the thing that we want to get. Let's see, maybe green blue. That might be, if we just go ahead and get that, let's see, breeding pool. And we will have that come into play tapped, so we don't need it into play untapped. Let me do a quick shuffle. So this Horde of Notions deck I've had around for quite some time. I started playing around the Shadowmoor block. Well, I guess block. They don't really do blocks and sets anymore. Not quite like they used to, but that's when I started playing. It was literally just as it was going out. Well, I guess it and Eventide, right? Both of them kind of going out and Shards of Volrath coming in. That's when I started playing. I did mostly standard stuff. So let's see. Let's go over here to the Bowzer deck. The Bowzer deck, like I said, it's just a kind of straight burn. We're going to try to duplicate as many spells as we can with Calamax and get as much use out of its doubling effect as we can. So we're starting with 3 lands, and I'm kind of hoping that we can get into our 4th land before we have to play Impulse to try to grab ourselves a 4th land. And then after that, we do have Jace's Sanctum to really help us keep drawing in 2 spells as we can. But we don't have any burn spells yet. We just have Tormod's Crypt, which I decided, essentially, not only did I have 3 lands, that's really good to start out with, but with Tormod's Crypt, we can hurt Horde of Notions if they get too far ahead. So that's kind of why I kept this hand mostly. I would have liked a ramp card, honestly. So there's our ramp card, actually. Let's go ahead and gain a life with Swiftwater Cliffs, then we will pass. So let me do that real quick. I used to do dice on screen to help keep track of life totals, but it just kind of gets more and more cluttered, and I have plenty of dice to be able to do that. It just gets to be a little bit of a pain as we get further and further along, especially keeping track. So I can keep track of it here, and it's easier for you all to see everything when you need to see it. So the Queen, let's see what we have. There you go, Outrider on core. So one of the, well, I guess future sites, so not really one of the original ones, but we started out with 3 lands. That's going to be really good for us. We just need to draw 1 more land to be able to either play Queen Marchesa or the Greed that we have in our hand to draw cards. We have stuff, Martyr's Bond, in case they try to target our things to destroy it. We have an effect to turn every creature more or less into a redirect creature. And we actually have a really old card called Martyrdom, which basically what we could do is, what we're going to do with it probably is we're going to use this to redirect any amount of damage to one of our on-core creatures, which then can separate it into as many creatures as we need to. So it can be used as a offensive or defensive card. At least I may have to go and re-look up it may be our creatures specifically, but I guess we'll find out. Let's see. Nomad Outpost, and we will pass. So let's see here. Volrath. This is what I call my body horror deck because mutate things turning into other things, mutating into something else and becoming things they're not supposed to. Yeah, so Volrath seemed like a really good choice there, and partly also because a lot of the best mutate cards are in these colors. So we have a good hand with almost all of the mana that we need to get Volrath out. Then we also have a copy effect with Evil Twin. We have Bane of the Living, which insects, I mean, so many body horror movies and such have stuff about insects, you know, like eating corpses or people becoming insects, like the fly. And then we have Giant Ataphage, which another insect, but it just makes a really good target for Volrath and mutate and stuff like that. So let's see what we get here. And our first mutate card. So not quite. It costing 6 mana to mutate isn't exactly what we want yet, but we'll get there. So Zaggoth Triumph, and we will go on to the next turn. Whew. That spicy stuff is gonna get me if I don't. I'm gonna have to drink a lot tonight. Oh crap! I'm gonna have to get another thing. I'm gonna have to get used to. Okay, untap. Let's see, and it is Ingot Chewer. Nice. More control. So we have a bunch of control right now. A lot of getting rid of stuff. Help us clear the board and stop people from getting too much advantage from artifacts. Let's see. So the good question here, I think what we do actually is let's go ahead and just go kind of ham on these lands. We will get another, we will look for another land, and I'm thinking that we want to go ahead and get another dual land. I'm wondering if let's see, not Temple Garden. So the white and black land might be in here, should be in here hopefully somewhere. I think it should have one of each of the Ravnica duels. So, oh, right there, got the shrine. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and lose 3 life to get that out. And that's going to help us majorly on mana. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and tap 2 for Life from the Loam, and we're going to return both of these search lands to our hand. And then at the end of the turn, we're going to discard a card. So I think what we do is, let's go ahead and discard Shriekmaw, so that it's in our graveyard and we can return it with Horde of Notions once we get there. Well, I guess, yeah, that's a kind of a tough question. Maybe actually, now that I think about it, yeah, I think Night Incarnate actually makes more sense. So it kills more creatures, but nobody really has creatures out right now. So I think it's probably safe to go and get rid of that one, because Shriekmaw, then it'll, either people will think that we have something really good in our hands and don't have removal, or I guess maybe that could make them assume that we do have removal in our hand, but we don't need the mass removal quite yet. We just need to be able to kill things on site when we need to. Now, that does put us in the weird position where Shriekmaw doesn't hit some of the cards for 2 different decks, but that's okay. If we can hit Calamax, then that may be good enough. And what we'll do next turn is we'll absolutely dredge. So hopefully I'll actually remember that that's what we're doing. Okay, let's pass. We've spent enough time on this deck. We should go ahead and keep rotating to the next thing and putting the hand up there. Jeez, what am I doing? Okay, draw a card. Evolution Charm. So that's kind of a ramp card, but I don't want to use it just yet. We're going to go ahead and set ourselves up for getting Calamax out next turn by playing that card. And then maybe we'll be able to get dual use out of stuff like Evolution Charm and Impulse and things. I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out. Sometimes it works out and sometimes it doesn't. Calamax can kind of, well, I should say Bowzer can kind of, it's been a little iffy at times. So core creatures, we get a Read the Bones. That'll work. That works for us. So let's go ahead and put this land that comes into play tapped because we don't have it. Well, let's see. Actually, let me think. Tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. So yeah, we don't have basic lands. We're going to do that. We don't have very many basic lands in this deck. But we should be able to, with Read the Bones, get another... Crap. Sorry, I'm trying to get in the practice of putting the hands up where it's easier to reach them because of counterspells. It can be a little cumbersome if the deck that has counterspells is all the way on the other side of the table, because I'm sitting kind of at a bigger table, so it takes a little bit to get around to the opposite side. I have to reach across, and that doesn't often work out for me. So Search for Tomorrow, that'll work for us. That'll get us there. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll put the Overgrown Tomb into play tapped and Search for Tomorrow. Let's get ourselves a dice here. And I guess what we'll do, we'll try to make sure that we don't stupidly forget it. We'll put it up there. Oh, that's good tea. Okay. Horde of Notions. Dredge. We can't forget. We're going to dredge. Maybe I should just put the dredge card on top. Now, I really shouldn't get into the habit of that, just because I do play older cards, and some of the older cards actually care about graveyard order. So I can't just keep mixing it up all the time. Okay. But we are, for our draw, going to dredge 3. So we're putting Fertilid and... Oh, did I put this around backwards? Fertilid, an island, and Forgotten Ancient into our graveyard. That's a good set. Ooh. Let's go ahead and do the... do I want to do Verdant Catacombs again? Yeah, let's go and do Verdant Catacombs again. We'll lose 1 more life, but we'll put a dual land into play tapped and only lose 1 life. We'll put... I mean, I guess we could put Overgrown Tomb, but I was kind of thinking red-green this time instead of green-black. I should have it. I should have it. I know you're in here. I'm very confident that I put you in here. I probably totally bypassed it. Give me a second. Let's see. If anything, we'll leave that out just in case I'm blind and I've mistaken it again. Let's see. Because like I said, I thought I put 1 of each of the Ravnica duels in here. But every time you look, you go past it and you don't even know that you've gone past it. And I think that it has happened once again. Because I see a bunch of the dual lands, but I'm not seeing that one. So we'll go and grab that one. And we will use the... Just keep reusing Life from the Loam. Life from the Loam is such a good card. I'm always happy when I get Life from the Loam. I just have to, while I'm playing this deck, I have to be careful that I don't do it too much, and maybe that's what's going to happen is this is the only other time that I'm going to do it, because I want to be sure that I don't set myself up for disaster by emptying my entire... Yes, thank you, Cuckoo Clock. Emptying my entire deck into the graveyard and getting it exiled, because commander decks are full of, or should be full of graveyard hate. If you're not playing any graveyard hate whatsoever, you should really reconsider that. Okay, so we are lifing from the loaming, and that will, again, we'll do these and the island here. We'll put those into our hand, 2 lands, and now we need to discard a card. Oof. Let's see. So we are going to, I think this time Ingot Chewer is probably smart. I still kind of value the creature removal over the artifact removal, essentially because nobody has any artifacts out yet. Oh, one of these days. One of these days. Okay. That is all we're going to do for the turn. We're just going to move on. Move on to the Bowzer. So, Comet Storm. Wow. Okay. Well, that's a good that's a good burn card. Yavimaya Coast. We are going to tap 4 and play Calamax, and then see if we can hang out and keep Calamax. If we can keep Calamax out for like 1 turn, it may be okay. But let's see. I think we don't have anything else that we want to do with our hand. So, because we don't want to give away that we have Tormod's Crypt. We want the Elemental deck to keep piling cards into the graveyard if at all possible. And since they're going to Life from the Loam next turn, almost certainly, we can at least get that much out of it before something happens. Okay. Draw a card, and it is Exotic Orchard. That's great. So, wow, we are going to totally dominate with this, and we need to get a card out of our hand. I'm wondering if I don't necessarily want to discard too much with this deck. We don't have a ton of recursion, so which seems weird. We're in white-black. We should have plenty of recursion, but we don't have too much. So we want to save it for when we can, and I am a little concerned now seeing the Ingot Chewer in the graveyard without being able to remove it. See, I would have played Blazing Sunsteel would have been the card to play. Since that's not really telegraphing that play, I don't think is a good choice right now, so I'm going to go ahead and play Outrider on Core. And then next turn we can play Queen Marchesa and start getting the party started, which is mainly attack. So this deck's goal is a little bit reactive, but it's mostly the build up is reactive. And then once we get set, once we can lock kind of players into being unable to attack us or deal us any damage, that's when we essentially take over the game. That's when we start being able to deal a lot of damage to people, punish them for not attacking, and then when they do, we punish them again. So, untap, upkeep, we reduce this by 1. Let's draw a card, and we get Wormcoil Engine. A creature that becomes 2 other creatures. That's not body horror, I don't know what it is. So, we don't have anything else to play since we don't have ramp in a green deck. In a green deck, we don't have any ramp on turn 3. What is the world coming to? Is that not... I mean, is that not the bizarrest thing you've ever heard? A green deck not playing ramp on the first 3 turns of the game? Unacceptable. Unacceptable. Okay, let us get our Life from the Loam back from the graveyard, back into the world of light. So, Mole Drifter, Hulk, Rubble Hulk, and Tornado Elemental. Well, yeah, we do not want to make our graveyard any more full than it already is. Okay, we will play a mountain, and we do not want Calamax to last any more turns. We are going to go ahead and invoke and kill off the Calamax, which is good. That's fine. That's what we're going to do. I don't want to do anything else. Like I said, I don't want to pile up my graveyard too much more. Okay, well, Calamax is dead, which means that we need some more mana for the deck. Come on. Come on, mana. That is not mana. But what we can do at this point is we can do 2 things. I think what we're going to do is we're going to do Jace's Sanctum. And then with the rest of our mana, we are going to Tormod's Crypt to the graveyard. That's a lot of good creatures in a graveyard, and we don't want... Well, do we... see... We could technically just threat with it and catch them when they have even more cards in the graveyard, but I'm kind of afraid that they might try to destroy Tormod's Crypt or somebody else do something really silly. So I think we're going to just go ahead and get rid of it now. That may not necessarily be 100% the best move, but I think it makes sense. I mean, we're not catching Life from the Loam, so they can still do Life from the Loam, but I'm not sure how else we're really going, because they're just not going to play it until we activate Tormod's Crypt. So we're just going to put ourselves into a position where we're trying to play chicken, and then they get the advantage because we don't have any responses after Tormod's Crypt, but they could do who knows how many things. So okay, Wall of Souls. Have you ever seen this card? Such an old card. Okay, Reflecting Pool. So we do have, let's see. Yeah, we do have all of the mana that we need to play Marchesa. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to play her. Now we become the ruler of all space and time. Don't you know? That's what happens when you play Queen Marchesa. Just everybody kind of goes, well, okay, I guess that's game over. We're done now. Nothing else we can do. Let's go ahead and get our little crown out there. And let me put these tokens back. This is like one of 4 different spots I have token cards. So we have that. Do we want to attack? That's a good question. I think actually we do want to attack. Let's see. So because I'm thinking that we just want to get it. Nobody else has really any creatures out. So they can't really stop us too much. Paradise Druid. Sorry, excuse me. Paradise Druid's just not going... They're not going to attack with it. They're going to use mana. So I don't think I'm concerned about what it's going to do. And nobody else has creatures. So yeah, I think doing it this way makes perfect sense. So 5 damage. Now, who do I want to take 5 damage? Calamax lost their commander. The Elementals lost their graveyard. So both of them are set back a couple of turns, probably. We are going to see Horde of Notions come out next turn. Do we do anything about that? I'm trying to think if we want to do anything about that. They could attack us, I suppose, especially because it would give them Monarch. Let me think. I don't know. Maybe I don't attack them. I attack the Volrath deck. Volrath. That's who we will attack. So let's see. We cast our commander. Oh, so did Calamax, actually. Another thing to keep track of with this life total thing, we can keep track of the how many times each commander has been cast. Okay, so let's see. Body Horror. I think we're just going to go all out. We're going to say 5 damage, and you're also going to have taken 3 commander damage. Ooh. Okay. That's all we're going to do. So at the end of our turn, we draw a card, and it is Silverclad Ferocidons. That is one of the cards that we want to redirect damage towards, because it makes everybody sacrifice things. Unfortunately, we're not at the mana to be able to cast it. We are a bit behind on that front, so we are going to have to get up to that point. So let's leave the Monarch up there. We will go over here. So, Volrath. Their upkeep, they are going to get the search for tomorrow. Sorry, now that the elementals are closer, I'm going to exile the cards that they had. Actually, let me just pull them completely off the table. That might make more sense. Okay, we want a forest. That's what we want. We have other mana, so getting more greenery over here is going to be good. So let me shuffle real quick so I can draw. 35 life, A. Queen Marchesa attacking us for no reason, A. That was very, very rude. We will have to do something about that. We will have to retaliate. Full out war. They drew first blood. We will draw maybe someday second or third blood. Hopefully, maybe. Okay. Let's draw a card for the turn, and it is... That's okay. Mazarek, Krull, Death Priest. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Okay, so an island, and we are going to absolutely get Volrath out. It makes the most sense. The question is, who do we put a -1/-1 counter on? And I think that putting it on Queen Marchesa is smart. So the queen over here, you can't see, it's a little bit off screen, but she's getting a -1/-1 counter. So we can as well take advantage of that later if we want to. But for now, that's the best we can do. We will hopefully draw another land next turn. But otherwise, I think what we want to try to do is we're going to either try to get... See, so how this... The weird thing about how this will work is if we put Mazarek onto the battlefield and then mutate on top of it, it no longer becomes a legendary creature, which means that we can copy its effect and have multiple creatures that whenever somebody sacrifices something, then we put a +1/+1 counter on each creature we control, and so we can keep doing that. So we can do something like play Evil Twin as a copy of Sovereign Snatcher, which has this creature's ability as well. So it gets really bizarre really quickly when you do stuff like that. The ability to erase legendary status on legendary creatures makes for some really entertaining plays. So that's what we're going to hope for is... so Mazarek, playing Mazarek next turn, but Wormcoil Engine is another great card to have out. So we may also want that. I don't know. We'll see. So untap, draw a card, and it is Meadowboon. Not too shabby. Let's play an island. Is that... Yes, that is all of the colors that we need under the rainbow to cast our Horde of Notions. So now everybody has cast their commander once. Yay! The last game, I think we missed out on one commander not getting cast. Everybody else has got... Every other deck got theirs cast. So, let's see. So who do we attack? We have Volrath over there. Volrath will kill us, but we'll kill them back. Because we're like that. Calamax did exile our graveyard, so I'm not really happy, like super happy about that. But then again, I did kill their commander, so I'm not like super concerned about them yet. Maybe I just get back at Queen Marchesa. So yeah, we're going to go on and attack using Horde of Notions. We're going to deal them 5 damage. So they are going to take... Let me go ahead and show that. So they are going to take 5 commander damage from Horde of Notions, which we're not necessarily going to see too many battles where Horde of Notions actually gets to commander damage. But it has been very close a number of times in the past. 5 damage multiple times is not something that you necessarily want to just ignore. But that means that we get Monarch here. So I actually set down my hand, and maybe we shouldn't have done that. So I'm going to end my turn, which means I draw a card, Divine Reckoning. That's a really good one. But we can't discard anything, so we're just going to go ahead, and that's it. We just have Monarch, which does mean they get a 1/1 Death Touch Haste Assassin. Oh, and speaking of, I don't know if I have... I may have to draw myself up one. Okay, untap, draw a card, and it is Springleaf Drum. Well, that's not very helpful. We absolutely do need to... Let's see. Do. And see, I don't really want to... I don't want to use all of this, but I also kind of halfway sort of need to. So we're going to... Now the question is really... We could kill Marchesa and the Outrider. Well, the Outrider Encore is going to redirect to Marchesa, but we don't really kill anything else with this Volcanic Fallout, so I don't think that that's what we want to do yet. We really want a Comet Storm is what we want to do. And there's not really any artifacts or enchantments out, so I think getting land is really what we need, so I'm going to go ahead and Evolution Charm and get ourselves a basic land. So, yes, we do technically, when we cast... Well, first of all, it reduces it by 1, so it only costs 1, but we would scry, but it doesn't really matter because we're just going to shuffle, so... I think that we need another red mana. That's what we need. We need a mountain, which we're going to play. I kind of wish that Scry came after the effect, but I think it's probably more helpful for most for most instant sorceries if you Scry first. But this is like the one case where I wish that it would happen after for some reason. Like if it, I guess to do that you would have the enchantment say instant and sorceries you cast have, and then you would say the text of Scry 1 onto... You would basically use the enchantment to write Scry 1 onto every instant and sorcery. So that it comes like at the... Essentially it comes at the end. Okay, sorry, this goes into the graveyard. I don't get it in my hand. I am playing the mountain because we haven't played a land this turn. I don't think we want to cast Impulse. I think we just hold it. Because I want another land. Well, I don't know. See, Okay, I do want to cast Springleaf Drum. Let's go ahead and do it. I don't want to, but let's go ahead and do it. Meaning what? Sorry, to explain. I want to take advantage of Calamax doubling the impulse, but I need to be able to get Calamax out first. So we're going to go. I need a guarantee that I can cast him, and this is the way that I'm going to do it. So I'm going to impulse, which means we scry 1. Ooh. This is not the land I wanted to see. But I'm not sure what else to do. Because we played our mountain, which was my fault. I should have held on to it. So let's leave it on top. We'll look at the top 4 cards. Oh my gosh. Survivor's Encampment. I mean, that does guarantee that we do get the... Blurg. But we still have the colors of mana that we need. Maybe let's go ahead and take it. We're gonna put it in our hand. It means that we cast Calamax next turn. So let's see. Oh, I always forget with Impulse. So why I say that is because the original wording for it was kind of silly. Let's see. So, rest on the bottom of your library in any order. So the original wording for Impulse had you put the 4 on the bottom of your library in any order, and then you would shuffle your library. And everyone was kind of like, why bother putting it on the bottom? That seems weird. So they've since removed the shuffle part of that. Okay. Let us go over to the Queen. The Queen. Yeah, okay. Queenie. Untap. Upkeep. During our upkeep, we get a 1/1 Black Assassin. So let's see here. We need a marker to be able to say things, to write it in the word stuff. Let's see, assassin. And it is a 1/1 Death Touch. I need to start thinking about Death Touch haste. Maybe we just draw kunai on here. Maybe that's what we do. That way I don't have to think about what a ninja looks like. I can just say, yeah, I definitely know what ninjas look like. See, I drew their weapon thing. And then let's do that, and we'll do like a little lens flare type thing. There we go. We have ourselves a little assassin. A tiny little baby assassin. Okay. We're going to get that assassin back, don't you worry. Definitely, probably. Vault of the Archangel. Okay. That sounds good to me. Go ahead. We will put that into play, and we will swing for 2 damage at the Horde of Notions deck. So, Horde of Notions, are you going to take 2 damage? Or are you going to probably get Vault of the Archangel? Yeah, let's take the 2 damage and lose Monarch. I think that's probably the smarter one. Okay, we have our Monarch back. So why that matters? So what would happen is we would activate our Vault of the Archangel after they declared the blocker. We would make our creature lifelink and Death Touch, and then whatever damage that Horde of Notions would do or would be dealt to Outrider, we'll say, okay, well, Outrider, you will redirect the next 10 damage that you take over to this 1/1 assassin that we have here. And then the assassin's like, okay, I'll take that damage. But the Horde of Notions is going to get 2 damage Death Touched. So, yeah, they're not going to do that. That would be stupid. Okay. And now, let's go ahead. So, I was thinking about this. Greed seems like a good card because we do want to get to more land sometime. But actually, what I'm thinking about, while we have the ability and Ingot Chewer is gone, we are going to tap 2 because we can do that with that mana. We're going to play Wall of Souls, and then we are also going to play Blazing Sunsteel. So now, what we'll be able to do is we'll set it up so that we'll equip the Wall of Souls with the Blazing Sunsteel. So then, when we redirect damage from Outrider to Wall of Souls, then Wall of Souls will go, oh, I got dealt combat damage? Okay, well, I'll deal that damage equal to an opponent, or that same amount of damage to an opponent. Oh wait, I have Blazing Sunsteel. I'm going to do that twice. Let's draw a card for Monarch, and it is not a land. We need that land. Do we? I don't think we have 7 cards in it. No. But we are getting there very slowly. We may have to read the bones next turn. I don't know. That would be unfortunate. I want to equip the Sunsteel next turn, but if we have to start digging for lands, then we have to start digging for lands. Okay, untap, upkeep, draw a card. Let's see here. What do we got? Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That is what we like to see. That is another mutate card, a very specific one that I like to see. Okay, we are going to pay 5, and we're going to play Mazarek, Crawl Death Priest, because we are going to set ourselves up to be able to do Migratory Greathorn next turn, which searches land whenever you mutate. That's going to be really handy for getting out this giant Adaphage that's 2 more mana than what I have in my hand. Okay. But we can now go to combat. And during our combat, we get to put a -1/-1 counter on something. Let us put a -1/-1 counter on Horde of Notions. As much as I want to kill a little 1/1 Pathetic Assassin, Horde of Notions being not having the ability to trade with Volrath is a really big thing. And also the ability to just say, oh yeah, by the way, Volrath is now a Vigilance, Trample, Haste 7/5 also seems really relevant. Okay. I'm thinking about whether I want to attack or not. And... I don't know, it seems kind of useful to have Volrath as a further deterrent, so I may just hold off, and this allows me to also kind of protect Mazarek. Nom, nom, nom. Okay, we have Horde of Notions. Horde, what are we going to do? How are we going to get ourselves out of this mess? Draw cards. Let's do Wake of the Dead. Nice. Spicy. Exactly what I like to see here. So, we do see a lot of creatures out, but it's really... most of the creatures are over on the other side. Over straight across from us, that damage control deck. That nasty, nasty damage control deck. Although Volrath giving me a -1/-1 counter, that's kind of annoying. I don't know. This is a good question. But maybe... I mean, we do have Divine Reckoning. So we have Divine Reckoning. We could get rid of all of the creatures on that side, but I really do want to, like, chalk up my graveyard real quick. And I'm wondering if Epiphany in the Drown Yard might be the key to that. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to Flooded... do we do Flooded Strand here? Yeah, let's do Flooded Strand. Oh, wait, do we have to? No, we don't have 2 white mana, so we need 1 anyway. Let's go ahead and do that. We'll get ourselves a Plains. This deck operates really well off basic lands, so I did dual lands at the very beginning to, like, in case our search lands got exiled or something. I wanted to be sure that we had some diversity in dual lands to begin with, and then we could just work off of basic lands from there. Because the basic lands are really good. They work really well, even in 5-color decks, as long as you're not in a super hyper-competitive scene. If you are, then, yeah, basics probably aren't going to be quite as good. You are very likely playing a 3 or more color deck, regularly 4 color, so... Oh, that can't... the light is kind of killing off the... You can see, there you go. See, that is a regular dot. I wonder if I need to do something a little darker. That doesn't seem like it's dark enough. It kind of is, but that's not the one I want. Let's do this. That shows up really good. I like that. Okay. We'll have to switch over as we get back around. Okay, so we have that. We shuffled. let's go ahead and Epiphany at the Drown Yard for x equals 5, because we have 6 lands here. At least I remember 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. 6 lands, so we reveal x plus 1, so we will reveal 6 cards off the top of our library. And an opponent, and separate them into 2 piles, so I get to separate them, and then an opponent chooses which one goes into the graveyard and which one goes into our hand. So who do we choose as our target and opponent? I guess we don't have to choose a target necessarily. Yeah, we get to choose after we separate who it is, because if it was target, we have to do that as part of the casting of the spell process. So we can do it as part of the resolution. So let's see. That's kind of tricky. Because we can get all 3 lands. With Life from the Loam, we can get all 3 lands. Chromatic Lantern is really, really good. That's really the card that we want. Because all of these other ones are the cards that we can get. These are all things that we can get back from our graveyard. So we're not really that sad to see them go. It's really this Chromatic Lantern that we want. But I don't know that there's a way. I think they would recognize that, because I think they would realize that I didn't lose Life from the Loam. And so everything else comes back to my hand, essentially, one way or another. So this is the only one that doesn't. So how do we choose? Is there a way to choose that gives us? Can we say? Do we say something like this? So then they're much more compelled to put this into the graveyard and this into our hand. Because if they do this, then we do get a lot of cards in our hand, but we are going to discard most of them. We have 6 cards in hand. We're only keeping 1 of these cards. I don't know. I don't think there's a split that actually gives us what we want. Most of these end up into the graveyard either way. Let's... Man, that's... We do have a card that gets back our Chromatic Lantern. We have to find it, but... Let's see. I don't know. If we do this kind of a split, then... What does that give us? They know that we would just take whichever card that we want from here. Oh man, I don't think we get Chromatic Lantern at all. Maybe we do it like this, so then it makes it seem like the creatures in our hand are... Having these creatures in our hand is really good. So then they're more inclined to give us this, so that we have to get rid of... I don't know. Let's just do it like this. We're going to do it like this. Okay, so... We choose to have Calamax let us do it. In this case, I don't think it matters. We don't really have a... As long as we don't choose the Queen, I think we're okay, because they're the only ones who would, like, purposefully try to screw us. I mean... Any other opponent is going to try to give us the worst hand. Okay, so I'm Calamax. I see this split. I know they have 6 cards in hand. I know they have Life from the Loam. They can if I give them Chromatic Lantern, they're just going to immediately turn around and get all of the lands that they want. If I give them the creature... Let's see. If they have the creatures in their hand, the lands go into the graveyard. They get them back. Chromatic Lantern goes away, but maybe they want the creatures. Maybe they value having one of these creatures in their hand and having the choice to be able to choose which one. Okay. But if we put the creatures into the graveyard, they're going to have to discard most of the other cards anyway. It does seem like they really want Chromatic Lantern. I think we go ahead. I think it's always Chromatic Lantern goes into the graveyard. I don't know that there's any logic that makes it make sense otherwise, or that makes any sense that doesn't kind of turn out to that factor. Okay, so we have these cards in our hand. What do we get rid of? I I think Grave Sifter, because we could always cast. Let's see. I think cat. I don't know. Well, yeah. Let's go and put Soul of the Harvest, because having that cost one less mana, and we do have the 6 mana here, so we use 5, and a card and a land that's in our hand. Maybe just play High Market this time, and we can do Light from the Loam and Soul of the Harvest in one turn. I think that makes sense. We're not going to attack. We're just going to, well, we're going to go ahead and attack Calamax. I think that's what we're doing. I said that, but I think attacking Calamax here is okay for not giving us the thing that we want. Okay. We are 37, 37, 35, 35. That's how our life totals are right now. Okay. Calamax, your turn. Let's untap. Draw a card. Momentous Fall. That's a good one. So, Survivor's Encampment. We are going to go ahead and cast Calamax. So we will not be able to use Calamax to cast a spell that's in our hand. Unfortunately, the Jace's Sanctum does not allow us to, does not reduce the cost of this Croson Grip, unfortunately. So we are going to have to just hold off. We don't have anything to cast, but we can at least sort of look, see with this is where I would maybe shift this around a little bit. Just that small action to try to indicate to my opponents that I possibly have something with Springleaf Drum. So, untap. Upkeep. We do not get another assassin because we are the Monarch, as all things should be. Solar Blaze. Oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, Solar Blaze. That's so funny. Okay, we are going to, let's go ahead and do 3. We'll do Read the Bones. We'll lose 2 life. Let's see. We are at 33 now. Okay, so we scry 2. Neither one of these are lands. But we do kind of want Jaya, Venerated Fire Mage. It's part of our kill people plan, so to speak. Nah, we'll put it at the bottom. We can always try to get it later. We need the land really, really badly. Okay, scry 2, draw 2. Jeez. Wow. So few lands. But Pestilence is good. Let's go and put Mortuary Mire into play tapped. We do not have anything to return from our graveyard, so that's just kind of how it is. Okay, so attacks. Now, let me think how we want to do this thing that we're doing. Do we attack anything? That's the question. So everyone is their commander out. I'm kind of tempted to hold off. Because being able to block with both the queen and the assassin here makes a lot of sense. Being able to, because I don't think Calamax is going to block or attack, but Volrath really could attack, and then Horde of Notions could follow that up. And I think that being able to threaten taking anybody's creatures out if they dare attack me is probably where we want to be. We don't want to be too aggressive right now. So we're going to get the Monarch at the end of our turn. We draw a card. Sunforger. Perfect. Let's see. What do we get rid of, though? All of these are really good. Oh, no. Martyr's Bond. Well, crap. Crupiola. All of these cards are good. All of these cards get through and do the things that we want to see done, but being able to Solar Blaze and sweep the field and then turn around and play, well, yeah, actually just being able to play Martyr's Bond and then Solar Blaze so that everything for sure is taken out no matter what. I don't know, but we really want greed. We really want extra draw. Maybe we get rid of greed, actually. Monarch is doing us a really good job. We don't really need to draw extra cards. We need to use the cards that we have. And with Sunforger, we can do a lot of damage that way. So we're going to get rid of that. So we are passing the turn. We are going on to Volrath. Volrath is untap. Keep, draw. Forest. Perfect. So we are foresting it up. Now, good question. Well, if we do Migratory Greathorn, we could set up Giant Ataphage next turn. That seems like a good idea. Let's go ahead and do that. We will do 3 here. Comes into play tapped. So we are going to Migratory Greathorn on top of the Mazarek. So we get a swamp, certainly. Swamp to play tapped. Now we have plethora of mana. Plethora. Significantly all of the manas. Very much many manas. Shuffle up a little bit. Snuffle up, I guess, a little bit. What do we have next? Do we have any other spells that we want to cast? And I don't think so, because the Souvenir Snatcher is the next one, really. Non-creature artifact. Ooh, we could grab that Sunstealer. That Blazing Sunsteel, but really we just have really good cards in hand. So let me think. Let's see. Actually, I want to look up a ruling real quick, because when things go to 0, I keep forgetting. This is a thing that I forget periodically. Toughness at 0, is it sacrificed? Is it sacrificed? Feist. MTG. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of what I thought. I was afraid of that. That's fine. It doesn't count as sacrificing it. It just goes to the graveyard as a state-based effect. I didn't know if that state-based effect actually triggered anything. Okay, let's see. So, Calamax is kind of vulnerable right now. Do we... well, but that core creature, that miserable core creature, I think deserves to have a -1/-1 count. Why do I keep picking up the ones that don't have any dark color to them? Go away. Okay. Yeah, we're going to put a -1/-1 counter on the core creature. So. Oh, that's That's dirty. I can't attack the core creature stuff quite yet because they could kill me. But I am going to... So we're in combat. I'm going to pay 1 until end of turn. Volrath, Shapestealer, becomes a copy of target creature with a counter on it, except it's 7/5 and has this ability. We are going to make it into a copy of Horde of Notions. So we have Vigilance, so we can attack and defend. We are going to attack into Calamax over there because they're going to untap with a bunch of stuff. Calamax is going to take the damage. I don't really like that idea, but the problem is that if I don't do that, I lose Calamax once again. So let's go ahead and bring up the life totals. So let's see. Bowzer is going to lose 7. And let's see. From Body Horror. Now that is dangerous. That is very dangerous. Okay. So, oh wait. And Bowzer actually cast a second time. So we want to keep track of that. Okay. That's good. That is all we're going to do. But now this means that Volrath can become a copy of something again if it needs to. Maybe something with Death Touch, maybe? I don't think we need the Death Touch, but, you know, maybe. Okay. Untap, upkeep, draw a card. We got Blood Crypt. Blood Crypt. Let's see. So, I don't like that Mazarek. I don't like what I see out there. Not really. Not really, but let's see. So, we did talk about doing this. So, playing that card, switching this around. So, we will... Or do we do that this turn? That's a good question. Do we Divine Reckoning this turn? And punish everybody for having a lot of creatures out. And see what everybody chooses. And then we still have Horde of Notions to do something with if we need to. It kind of seems like maybe we should, but let's double check. What creatures do we have in our graveyard? We don't have anything in our graveyard whatsoever. Yeah, I think maybe Divine Reckoning here keeps things under control a little bit. We can always do it again when we need to. So Divine Reckoning, everybody choose a creature that's going to choose one creature that they keep, and everything else gets destroyed. So I guess let's go around the table and finish resolving that before we do anything else with Horde of Notions. So Bowser's easy. Bowser's going to stay Bowser. Destroy the rest. It really is destroy the rest. Yeah, not sacrifice. Okay, good. Sacrificing, bad. Over here, who do we keep? We do not keep an assassin. We don't need an assassin if we're destroying everything. I really like Outrider Encore. It's the only one that we've really gotten with redirection stuff. I'm kind of sad to lose it, actually. But I do want... I guess maybe we just... I mean, Wall of Souls is really good, though. We're not going to get another one of those until we get another land, essentially. Where taking what I mean is where taking damage means something. But we do have Blazing Sunsteel. Let's go ahead and say Wall of Souls, and we will allow the queen to die as well so we can reset her. So there we go. That's what we're doing here. Over here, is it clear? Yeah, getting rid of Volrath because the Mazarek is so good if we can get it going. So let's do that. Because we can play Giant Adifage next turn. That's really what we're going to do. Okay. So we're back at Horde of Notions. We've played one card. We still have the ability to play a land. Do we have anything for 3 mana? No, not really. Because this is evoke 4. So let's go ahead and put Blood Crypt into play tapped, and we will pay 2 mana to cast Life from the Loam, and we can start getting that set up. So we will do that. Life from the Loam. Let us bring so I'm thinking that we go ahead and bring these 3 lands back to our hand, because what we're going to do is we have 8 cards in hand. We'll discard Grave Sifter right now, but we really want to we don't really want to lose more life on Verdant Catacombs is what we don't want to do. Okay, so can we attack anybody? We can attack Marchesa again. So let's go ahead and attack her for 4 damage. She is not going to block with Encore. I don't think. Yeah, she doesn't have really anything to do here. Yeah. So that means that we will get Monarch. So, oh wait, no, sorry, this is still in our hand. We're going to discard at the end of the turn. We're attacking with Horde of Notions. That was the whole point of that. She's going to take 4 damage and take 4 more commander damage from Horde of Notions, taking her up to 9 commander damage. That's no good. Okay, so that means that we steal Monarch here. So at the end of the turn, we will draw a card, Sphinx's Revelation. We will discard Grave Sifter and Verdant Catacombs. So that seems pretty good. Sphinx's Revelation will take us pretty far. We can Life from the Loam and Sphinx's Revelation. Great for us. Okay. Calamax. The Bowzer finally gets a frickin' turn with Calamax out. And a land, of course. Okay. Well, that's kind of how it goes. So, what do we do here? What can we do? Okay, so let's say we wanted to Comet Storm. How much mana do we have with that? Let's say we want to hit each player. So this would be 2 mana here. Its cost is reduced by 1. So that gets us 1 opponent, and this is another opponent. And then we do 4 here, so we could do 8 burn damage this turn with Calamax. That seems pretty good. But is that what we want to do? I don't think so. I think we want more mana. I think we want to we're greedy. We want more damage. I mean, that's the long and short of it. So, let's go ahead and let's see. Do we attack with Calamax, then we instant speed Volcano Fallout? Because we will get rid of Horde of Notions, we'll get rid of Mazarek, and we will get rid of the Outrider Encore. So, who needs to be taking the damage? Who's ahead? Let's take a look. Let's take a look at the life totals. Horde of Notions is actually ahead. So, Horde of Notions and Body Horror. Yeah, I am kind of afraid of the Body Horror hasn't really done too much quite yet, but the Horde of Notions does have a stacked graveyard. I think Horde of Notions needs to be taken down a peg. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go into combat. We are going to... Oh, we need the red mana. No, that's fine. So we are declaring attackers against Horde of Notions. Before we end that, we are going to pay 1, 2, and cast Volcanic Fallout. And when we cast it, 2 things happen. We have Jace's Sanctum, which reduced the cost by 1, so that's why it costs only 1. We get to scry 1, and also we get to put a +1/+1 counter on Calamax, because it is, as we say, the first instant let's see. So whenever you cast your first instant spell each turn, if Calamax is tapped, you copy that spell and choose new targets for the copy. And then whenever we copy an instant spell, we put a +1/+1 counter. So we're going to copy... Well, let's go and scry first, I guess. Do we want another land? No, or do we? No, we really don't. We want to see another draw spell or a ramp spell, really. That's what we want to see. Okay, so we're going to do that. Volcanic Fallout, 4 damage to each creature and each player. Well, 2 first. So, sorry. Ugh. I'm doing everything in a weird order. So, Calamax. Jeez, how many of... Give me something not... Okay, there we go. That's good. Okay, so Calamax is going to get a +1/+1 counter. Because we copied a spell. Now the first Volcanic Fallout is going to happen. So that's 2 damage to everybody. 1, 2. Bowzer takes 2. This takes 2. And Queen's Core takes 2. And that is going to kill Outrider on core. They don't have anything to stop that. So Outrider on core dies. Then we get to, let's see. Oh, and we get to do Monarch as well. Okay, so then the second Volcanic Fallout goes out. So that's 2 more damage to everybody. Which unfortunately hits us as well, but that's kind of the cost of playing this deck sometimes. But that's going to kill Horde of Notions, who I think we don't have... Well, we... Let's see. Actually, I guess we do. We're going to leave it in our graveyard, weirdly enough. Okay. So that's gone, and Volrath's Mazarek is gone. That's going into the graveyard. You can't see it. It's off screen. Just trust me. Okay, so that's dead. Calamax deals 5 damage to Horde of Notions. And they take 5 commander damage. Okie dokie. That was a really great turn, and we do have it set up where we can do... Well, we're not going to be able to do both the Momentous Fall and the Corrosive Grip, but we can do the Corrosive Grip, so at the very least, that's going to be very useful to us. And we almost certainly, I think we almost certainly are. We'll just double target something. So it's every turn that we cast an instant or sorcery, we get to double it. So as long as Calamax stays tapped, we're good. Let's see. So untap, draw a card. It is a land. Oh my gosh, that's good. Okay, so I think that means that, well, do we set up... Let's do that. Let's do... Yeah, Silverclad Ferocidons. Let's go ahead and do that. So we are going to pay 7 mana to have that. And essentially next turn what we're going to do is Pestilence, and then we'll also set up Blazing Sunsteel the turn after that. So this is going to be basically like super crazy board wipe nonsense land here in a second. That's all we want to do. Oh, Calamax was supposed to take the Monarch and draw a card. So the card they drew was a land. That's not great. That's okay, though. Okay. So we are not casting Corrosive Grip. We could that turn, but we don't need to. Let's go and untap, draw a card. It is a swamp. We will play it. Then we will Giant Adaphage. That seems like a really... Well, actually, do we want to do that? No, we want to Wormcoil Engine. We are very concerned about whatever the heck that Silverclad Ferocidon is going to do to us. So this way, if Silverclad Ferocidon attacks us, we can Death Touch it. And if they force us to sacrifice something, we can sacrifice Wormcoil Engine and have 2 more things to sacrifice if we need to. So Wormcoil Engine for the win. The very big win. Okay, we are back to Horde of Notions. Let's see what we want to do. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Fatal Gaming? Is that your name? How's it going? I'm doing pretty well. Just testing out, I mean, not really testing out these decks. I'm just playing decks that I like to play. So okay, that was my cuckoo clock. It's pretty loud. Um, yeah, so just kind of doing whatever I want to do. I have a lot of commander decks, so getting to play them this way is really nice. I'm playing these 4 different decks right now. We're doing Horde of Notions, which is just elemental tribal. Then we've got a burn deck, which is red, blue, green. And then we have Queen Marchesa as a damage control deck. And finally, Volrath, the Shape Stealer, as a mutate deck. So, how long have you been playing Commander? Do you have a favorite deck right now? Let's see. Horde of Notions. Hate Flayer. Nice. Okay, let's see. What do we want to get out? Because I think that, let's see, we have, let's go ahead and, well, interesting. Aha. 15 years, nice. Is that is that perchance like a planeswalker build, or what kind of build is it? What do you do with it? Do you play competitively with it? Oh, if I do that, they'll get their creatures back. I don't know. Yeah, Aminato. Stacks, okay. Yeah. And see, yeah, stacks. Stacks control, definitely. Maybe some oboe control in there as well. Maybe. Just maybe. um, uh, yeah, so let me think. Most of these ones aren't quite that high. I don't typically build quite that high. I'm kind of more of a casual player because I've been playing for a while, since just before Shards of Alara came out. So, uh, at the moment, since I'm kind of deep into this game, I'd like to take a look, but I'd also like to finish this game. We're about an hour and a half in, so I want to be sure that I finish it sometime tonight. And we're looking at. You can see we're still like halfway through, I guess. So it's going to be a while. um, I'm not sure how long this game's going to go. It could have an explosive ending. I'm not sure. Calamax over there with doubling up on burn could really end the game quick if I'm not careful. Let me think. I want to wake the dead, but I don't know that I want people to be able to return their creatures. Let me see. Okay, so Volrath over here. Calamax doesn't have almost anything to return. It's only going to be able to return one, probably Mazarek. Why not Spell Table? Because I don't have 4 cameras. I'm playing all 4 decks at the same time, so I would have to have like 4 different cameras. And since I only own 1 camera, I have this really big Lazy Susan that I do stuff with. So you can see I kind of just rotate through the different cards. Let's see. So they have 2. I think that they probably would bring back Outrider on core, which would be probably bad news for us. I guess I shouldn't have sent Horde of Notions to the graveyard, but that's okay. Let me think. So do I wake the dead here and just get back the... Why not play against other players? Because I don't always have other players to play against. And I could just play against random people, but sometimes... Well, it's just really hard to find a community of players that aren't playing competitive Commander. You know what I mean? You have to have a really good group of casual players who can easily judge each other's decks and not kind of ruin the game by having something that's too unfun. So this is a way for me to be able to keep playing Magic, and that doesn't mean I don't ever play against anybody. I actually sometimes on Saturdays I'll join some games online using spell table, and that's another stream that I get on. But yeah, this means that I get to play more than once a week, and I can just play against myself. Plus, one of the streams I stream twice a week, and the second stream that I do is always on Sunday. And on Sundays, I actually try to do kind of a teaching stream. I try to teach how to play Magic. I also do deck building on those. So yeah, well, and see that other people's numbering system doesn't always mean what they think that it means. Some people think they've brought a 7 and really it was an 8 or a 9. You know what I mean? So like I said, it requires a dedicated group, and once you have a dedicated group, it's great. But the other group the group that I play with, which was used to be one of 3 groups, and 2 of them stopped playing. So the one group that's still playing, I played with them enough that like I'm really confident about what they're going to have, and they're confident about what I'm going to bring as well. So if I find other groups that can play it, then I'll probably do that. But let me see about finishing up this turn real quick, because I don't want to get too caught up. So I think that we do want to play Wake the Dead. Let's see. I want to get Horde of Notions back without having to use Grave Sifter. So let's go ahead and do this. We will Wake the Dead to bring back the Horde of Notions. Oh, only on an opponent's turn. Ah, crap. I need to actually read my cards here. Okay. That's okay. Let's see. So we want to save that mana. So let's go ahead and do Watery Grave into play tapped, and we will pass the turn to the next one. Pass the turn back to Calamax, who hopefully will be able to do something about that Blazing Sunsteel. And actually, at the end of the turn, we are going to do that. We are going to pay 2 here. We're going to Krosan Grip at the end of Horde of Notions' turn, so we get a second counter. We get to destroy 2 artifacts. We're going to destroy the Worm Coil Engine and the Blazing Sunsteel. So looks like on this other side we need to draw 2 little worms, and they will get, let's see, the Volrath deck is going to get 2 tokens, a Death Touch and a Lifelink. So Death Touch 3/3 worm. Maybe I'll draw some worms a little bit later. Worm, lifelink, 3/3. I want to catch up to this if I can. There we go. And also here. Now, what do we do? Let's untap, upkeep, draw a card. Oh wait, we were supposed to scry one from Jace's Sanctum. A Braid. Destroy another artifact. Or deal 3 damage to target creature. So we could deal to Pharasdons, but the problem is that we'd have to use both copies to kill it. So we don't really want to do that. We're going to scry to the bottom there. Okay, now we're going to take Calamax's turn. Draw a card, an island. Crap. Let's play that island. Okay. Let's see. How do we want to do this? We do have Comet Storm in hand. Let's see. We could attack Queen's Court. I think we have to get rid of the Pharasdons, because that seems really dangerous to let them have that out. So let's go ahead and attack with Calamax. And then after we declare attacks, we are going to... We have 2 red here, so that's 2. How many targets do we want? And I feel like we want... Let's see. Let me choose new targets for the copy. So maybe we do We only need to deal 5 damage to the Pharacodons to kill it. They're tapped out, so they're not going to be able to do anything unless they have an instant speed card. In this case, they don't. I know this. I mean, we would probably just do it like this. Okay, so we're going to use the mana that we get off of Jace's Sanctum, the cost reduction to pay for the copy effect. So we're going to put X equals 5 into Comet Storm. So the first targets for the Comet Storm are going to hit the 2 players. Let's see. Well, we're going to have the original copy of Comet Storm hit or target the Pharacodons and the Queen Marchesa deck. We get a copy of it with Calamax because that's the first instant or sorcerer we've cast this turn, and we get to scry 1. Let's go ahead and scry 1. The other targets for the copy of the Comet Storm are going to hit the other 2 opponents. Remand. Oh yeah, Remand. I will put that into my hand. Okay, so let's see. The copy goes off, deals 5 damage to Horde of Notions and Body Horror. -5. Now, the... Oh, wait. No, this... No, Queen's Core. Okay, so then the original goes off and deals 5 damage to the Pharacodons and to Queen's Core. So that's 5 damage there. And Pharacodons is dead. It got dealt damage. So each opponent sacrifices a permanent. I am going to sacrifice Springleaf Drum. But what the Horde of Notions deck is going to do is here they are going to pay 3 to Wake the Dead to put Horde of Notions into play. So Wake the Dead here. Horde of Notions comes into play. They are going to sacrifice that, and that gets us back into the command zone. Over on the other side, they have a worm, so they are going to sacrifice their worm here, the lifelink one, in order to pay for that sacrifice. Now we have to resolve the damage, so Calamax is dealing 7 damage to Queen's Core. There we go, and then they take 7 commander damage. Ha-ha. Ha-ha-ha. Queen's Core is not looking very hot right now. They're not controlling the damage as well as they should. Okay, so we scried 1, I believe. Yeah. No, wait, no, we needed... Let's see. Yeah, I feel like we... No, because that Abrade was... I think we missed a scry from Jace's Sanctum for this Comet Storm. No, because we put the remand. So let's see. So we are the Monarch. So we're going to draw a card at the end of the turn for Monarch. That's what it is. There you go. There, I got it. I got it finally. Okay. That's good though. Now it is Queen's turn. Pestilence is not looking so hot in our hand right now. And we really do want the Pharacodon back. Okay, draw a card. Simulacrum. Okay, let's see. Well, we keep losing a ton of things. It would be nice if we stopped losing everything on the board. Okay. But we also want to protect our life total, and we're not doing a good job of that either. Do we... Maybe we get rid of the... Do we solar... It seems like we might Solar Blaze here, actually, which doesn't really... It allows us to Solar Blaze and play Sunforger. That might be okay. Let's go ahead and do that. We're going to Sunforger because that gets rid of Calamax and the worm over there, and then we will cast Sunforger. That seems good. Okay, and they're tapped out, so they can't remand, so they lose the Calamax. They're going to have to recast that. Okay, we have Sunforger. That is good enough for a turn. Poor Wormcoil never saw the light of day. Didn't see a single turn cycle. Even its tokens didn't. Draw a card. We have an island. Have been better as a card draw or something else, but we'll work around it. We will play the island and let us go ahead and giant Adaphage. I'm glad that I saved that now. I wasn't sure that saving it was good, but now I am convinced. Very convinced. So we need 7 mana there. That's 7, 2 islands. That's good. We keep these other lands untapped. Do we want to do anything with those? And I don't think so. We are just going to giant Adaphage ourselves, hopefully into a victory. Especially if we can get... we can basically make a lot of copies of the giant Adaphage. So, yeah, that sounds good. Since we have Evil Twin in our hand and Volrath waiting in the wings for making more copies, that'll be good. Okay, untap. Upkeep. Draw a card. We have Doomgape. Aha, Doomgape. And we are almost actually at being able to double cast things from our graveyard. That's good too, but first we need to work on getting out our commander. So let's do those two, a plains, a forest, and we need a swamp here. So let's go ahead and do this one, I think. What else do we have? We could Meadow Boon this turn. That might be good. Okay, so let's go ahead. Oh, wait, we need 2 more to recast it. Crap. Okay. Well, there we go. That's all of our mana for the turn. So I guess we'll just do that. Let's pick out Horde of Notions. You have cast twice now. Okay. So that's all we're doing. We are just passing the turn back to Calamax. Oh, no, wait. We have haste. Ooh. We should not wait on this this glorious day here. And Bowzer deserves it in the face so we can get Monarch back. Okay, so here we are. Bowser's taking another 5. And Horde of Notions plus 5. Commander damage there. And that is it for the life totals. So we have Monarch again. And we draw a card at the end of the turn, which is Splinter Fright. That's also a really good one. So we have Doomgape and Splinter Fright to work with. So let's see here. We do not have more cards in our hand, more than 7, so we just pass the turn. Don't have to get rid of anything. No discarding. Let's untap. Draw a card. What do we have? A land. That will be useful for getting Calamax out. We will play the island, and Calamax has been cast 2 times. We're going to have to cast it. We're going to have to pay a lot of mana. Actually, we have to pay all of our mana to do that. So we are going to Calamax it up this turn. It's essentially just because we have to. I mean, we need to get Calamax out as much as possible, even if it means that we potentially risk it dying. So that is it for our turn, and we do not draw any cards because we're not the Monarch. Okay. Queen. Breathe life into this game. Help us out here. That is a land. That's not like 100% what we want. We need recursion. We need cards to search for other cards. Okay. Let's see. Do we Martyr's Bond here, or do we set up protecting ourselves? Because I have a feeling we're going to get Adaphaged. Well, I don't know. I guess we're at the lowest life total. 2 hits and we die. I guess that we are potentially at risk. So let me think. Yeah, let's see. 5, 6. No, wait. That's what we do. Yeah, we recast Marchesa. That's what we do. We have the mana for it, certainly. Okay, so we don't get to equip it, but we do become the Monarch. And maybe that means that we draw some more cards. We draw into something that's really useful. Plus, we get Death Touch. So, let's see. Draw a card at the end of our turn. Oh, a land. That's That could be better, especially one that comes into play tapped since we're so low on life now. Okay. Do you play a lot on Spell Table? I was actually kind of in on Spell Table really early on. I really liked it. When they weren't bought by Wizards yet, I was using it a lot for playing remotely. When everybody was still locked up tight. Untap, draw a card. Missed Syndicate Naga. Oh, that is. Oh man. Okay, that's. Oh, that's a card. Okay, well. Oof. Oofta. Gain control of non-creature artifact. Do we take Sunforger? That seems like a smart thing to do. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's sickening. Okay. I wasn't thinking about that. So we need 6 mana to do that. Unfortunately, we can't. Oh, that is sickening. We are going to do 6 mana for Souvenir Snatcher, and we're going to steal the Sunforger. So we can't really use it, but now they can't use it. So what that does for us, we're mutating on the bottom. We want Adaphage because we want it to be a 7/7, but now it has flying. It's a 7/7 flying trample that makes copies of itself. Okay, so who do we attack? Oh my gosh. Who's the biggest threat here? Who could really screw with me if I have this? Horde of Notions is pretty dirty, but man, Calamax. Although, I mean, Calamax could burn me out, but Queen Marchesa has the most capability to just pull out some kind of kill spell and put a damper on all my fun that I'm having. And they are so close to dying. I don't know, that's kind of hard. At this point, political wise, in terms of like table politics, I mean, not like US politics, but table politics, this is where I would consider or have a tough time making a decision, because I really like dealing an even amount of damage, but I'm afraid Queen has what she needs, because my 7/7, the 7/7 that I produce can certainly block Calamax or Horde of Notions, but the Queen could just outright use kill spells to stop me. So I think I'm going to attack Queen Marchesa and make a copy of Giant Adaphage with flying. Flying Adaphage. Seven. Oh, that was a miserable 7. Okay, there we go. There we go. We have a flying Adaphage here. And Queen Marchesa is at 6 life now. That is very, very close to not being alive anymore. Okay, that is all we can do for the turn. We are just going to go ahead and pass after that. Untap with the Horde of Notions. Oh, and no, we get Monarch. Jeez, I need to stop forgetting that. We get Monarch. What do we draw? Cavern Whisperer. That's nice. Another mutate card. Okay, untap, draw a card. Jungle Shrine. Yeah, that's a card that I want to play, definitely. Okay, Forest. So, I think, well, let's see. Before I play the Forest, what do we have? So, we have the ability to do 1 here and maybe 1 here. So, if we switch this around a little bit, do we have the possibility of doubling up? Blue, black, red. So we could do it. If we have this Forest out, we can do it. Oh, no, we can't. That's 2 planes? That doesn't make any sense. forest here. Okay. What do we have? What are we missing over here? We are missing either force. Oh no. Okay, so there we go. That has us there because this is white, black, blue, red, green. White, black, blue, red, green. Okay, good. Now what can we play from the graveyard? We have Grave Sifter and Soul of the Harvest. I don't think I want to do Soul of the Harvest. I mean, not Soul, Grave Sifter, because I don't want people to return things to their hand. So let's do 5. We will cast Soul of the Harvest from our graveyard. Let's do... Oh, wait. So instead of doing that, let's do this, because that's green, white, blue. No, wait, not blue. Black, red, blue. There we go. Yeah, green, white, black, red, blue. Okay, so that's 4 for 4 Soul of the Harvest. I guess I didn't need to rearrange that. We are going to Meadow Boon ourselves into some +1/+1 counters. So it's going to... I'm going to evoke it so that I lose play. But we get to draw a card for a creature entering the battlefield. Okay, so sorry, before we do that. So we get the evoke trigger and we get the draw trigger. Instead of drawing, we're going to Light from the Loam. And that means dredging 3. So, oh, Muldrotha. Nice. Okay. Meadow Rune now evokes, goes into the graveyard. We get a +1/+1 counter on each of our creatures. Soul the Harvest and Horde of Notions. So we have a 6/6 Horde of Notions. Let's see, who do we attack? Do we take out Marchesa? I don't think they're really... Marchesa is not the one that's concerning. It's the Volrath, but we can't do anything about the Volrath. We desperately need some way to contain them, but we don't have any way to contain them right now. We need flying or something, and we don't have the flying yet. Okay, so that means that 6 damage towards Calamax. So that maybe we can put... So let's see. If we do this, Calamax is not going to block, almost certainly. So they're going to take 6 damage and kick up 6 commander damage. Now that puts them in danger of dying from Volrath, which means they're more like... Volrath's more likely to go after them, which I am happy about. And it hopefully will set us up for other turns where we can... I don't know. We can double cast. We can do Muldrotha and Meadow Boon again next turn. So Calamax goes, untap. Maybe we are getting to the end here. Draw a card. It is Search for Tomorrow. But I am not sure that we are doing too hot here. Let's see. Is there anything that we can really do? Because I am concerned about us. We have Blighted Woodland. We really needed Burn Spell right there, but we don't have one. We can't really attack. I'd like to double up the ramp spell, but if we attack, then we leave ourselves definitely open. Let's go ahead and ramp anyway and see what we can do. We'll just go ahead and get a land into play. So let's go ahead and grab a mountain. Mountains are good. And we will go on to the queen, who will get a assassin. And probably go, well, I don't think that there's anything that I can do about this game at this point. I think I am dead. I have a player who's using flying creatures to go over my death touch. There's nothing else I can do. unless I draw a multiple kill spell this turn, we are stuck. Untap, draw a card. It is not a multiple kill spell or a tutor or anything useful. Yeah, so Sacred Foundry. Sorry, we get the assassin here. Maybe we can buy ourselves some turns. Let's see, 6 mana for the Protector of the Crown. So now any damage delta us is delta Protector of the Crown instead. Okay, and when it comes into play, we become the Monarch. So let's go and steal that Monarch back. We will... I think we just end the turn. We draw a card. It is Daru Spiritualist. So not really what we're wanting to see, but that's okay. Pass the turn. Pass it, pass it, pass it. Untap. I mean, this wasn't really tapped, but I'm not going to be using it. So untap, draw a card. It is Dreamtail Heron. Whew. Whenever it mutates, draw a card. Interesting. Each opponent discards a card. Yikes. But really, we just want to Evil Twin and Volrath if we can possibly help it. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to 5 and 4. We're going to make Evil Twin a copy of Flying Ataphage. And then we are going to have Volrath out. The beginning, let's see. At the beginning of our combat, let's put a -1/-1 counter on something. Let's put a -1/-1 counter on... let's put it on Horde of Notions, actually. So Horde of Notions had a +1/+1 counter. Now it doesn't. It has nothing. It is nothing. Do you hear? Then I am going to double attack. One of them is going to attack the Queen so that we can kill the Protector of the Crown. And the other one is going to attack... Let's look at life totals again. Yeah, I think the Bowzer deck needs to have some damage come its way. Because we're still really good positioning against Horde of Notions. They're not going to be able to do anything with this firepower. Okay, so we are going to deal 7 damage here. Just regular damage, which means we get another Flying Ataphage. I'm not going to do too much on the drawing here, so we can get done. The other one, all of the damage gets redirected to Protector of the Crown. It's actually redirect, so that means that they take 0 damage. So we don't get another Ataphage, unfortunately. So, at that point, I think we pass the turn with this nonsense over here. 4 7/7 Ataphages with flying, like just embedded flying. Untap, draw a card. No, wait, do we? Yes, we do. Aether Snipe. Interesting. Jungle Shrine. No, wait, we want to High Market into play. Interesting. Interesting. That gives us at least a little bit of trickery. Let's see. We can deal a really big blow to Volrath and sit in a really high position over both Core and Bowzer this turn because of the Aether Snipe, but we could also be putting ourselves in a position where they kill us next turn if they don't die. So let me think about this. let me go. We have an island, another island. What do we need? For Splinter Fright, we just need 1 green, or we can do Life from the Loam. Okay. But we need 1 blue, so we need these to be able to... No, wait, that's 2 planes. I should actually look at cards. Sometimes it's good to read cards. Okay. So this is what we're going to do. We don't have enough mana to Splinter Fright this turn, but we can do a little bit else. So we're going to Aether Snipe. So return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. We are going to return Volrath to its owner's hand. Then it's going to die from the Evoke, and we are drawing a card from Soul to Harvest. That's fine. Then, comes into play. I guess we could actually do this. We can still do this. So let's go and do that right there. So that gives us a green mana, because it's when it comes into play, so we don't actually mind. I was thinking I was going to need a sacrifice with high market. I don't know why, but my brain decided that was true. Okay, so black, green, red, blue, white. So we are going to Aether Snipe a second time and bounce the the token version of Flying Ataphage to its owner's hand. There we go, and that means we draw a card. Oh, Golgari Thug. Nice. Okay. Then we will pay 3 mana and play Splinter Fright and draw another card from Soul to Harvest. Then we are going to... Let's see. So we can attack with 2 creatures. I think we attack with both the Soul to Harvest and... Do we attack with Horde of Notions? I guess we don't. We're just going to try to kill off as many Ataphages as we possibly can. So I guess that probably meant that we shouldn't have done... Oh well, it's okay. Attack with Soul to Harvest against the Volrath deck. Now, is Volrath going to block? They have... I think no. I think they don't block. I think they just take 7 damage, which puts them down to 19 life. Because we still have a little bit of life. Okay. We are not the Monarch, though. So let's go ahead and end the turn. We have 8 cards in hand. Do we get rid of Doomgape? Oh. We could get rid of Golgari Thug. But we could also get rid of Hate Flare. Let's get rid of Hate Flare. I think that makes sense. And then, yeah, at the beginning of our upkeep, we'll put stuff into the graveyard with Splinter Fright. Okay. Pass the turn. Calamax, you live to fight another day. Do you have anything that you could do? And I think, actually, we do. I think what we're going to do is... Oh, wait, we have to counter target spell. Shoot. No, we don't have anything. Not really. Because we don't want to get rid of Calamax. Okay, untap, draw a card. Rapid hybridization. That's interesting. That is very interesting. Okay, yeah. Let's go ahead and do it. We are going to attack with we're going to attack somebody. We need to attack somebody. I think we attack the Volrath deck. And then after we declare attacks, we are going to pay 1 blue. We are going to cast Rapid Hybridization, targeting the Evil Twin. Is that what we want to do? Ooh, tricky. Because they're going to get a creature back. They could still block, but at least they won't have that Evil Twin. Okay, so yeah, that's what we do. We attack them. We do Rapid Hybridization. We get a +1/+1 counter. And also, we get to copy rapid hybridization, which is going to target Horde of Notions. And we are going to Jace's Sanctum, Scry 1, the Scry 1,000-Year Storm. Holy crap. Yeah, we're going to leave that on top. Okay, so 3/3 Beast. Let's do tokens for that. I'm pretty sure we just have a couple of elephants here. That's not technically a beast. Oh, wait, actually, so turns out we have one beast. So we'll do a beast on one side. And actually, probably the beast that'll survive. That's what we should do. Okay. So Horde of Notions is going to go into the command zone. They're going to get a beast. This guy is going to block with their beast. They're going to lose their token. Meaning Volrath is going to block. So Evil Twin's gone. They take no damage. So on, so on. Okay. We are going to pass the turn with a lot of open mana and hoping that people don't just annihilate me. Not that I can do anything about it, but that's all I can do, so. Untap. Draw a card. Phyrexian Arena. Not the card that I'm going to be using anytime soon. How much mana do we have? We have a decent amount. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 mana still allows us to Martyrdom and not really Simulacrum, but Martyrdom is what we want to be able to do. So let's do 6 mana for Martyrdom. So if we lose anything, if we lose any permanents, we can make everybody sacrifice a permanent that shares a card type. So maybe we can eliminate some creatures. Let's go ahead and I guess, do we just pass the turn? I think we have to pass the turn. We need blocks. So we're going to draw from Monarch. We get a land. That's probably a land that we would have wanted to have so that we could play the Rakdos Signet. But that's all we can do. So pass the turn. We are deep into it now. This is a really good game. This has turned out to be a really good game. Okay, untap. Upkeep. Draw a card. It is a swamp. Let's play that swamp. So, let's see. We really just want to recreate the settings that we had before. So let's try to cast Volrath for 5 mana. And that's where Calamax over here is going to remand for 1 mana. And both copies are going to try to put Volrath back into their hand. And it's going to be successful. We scry 1, we want the card on top, so we're just going to put it into our hand. Okay. Let's recast Volrath. Oh, and Calamax got a second counter. Okay, so I think honestly that Bowzer deck is really problematic, but Horde of Notions is as well. Crap. And they have a bunch of untapped mana. What do we do here? Let's put a... So we go to combat. Let's put a -1/-1 counter on Soul of the Harvest. So now it can't kill our pretty Adiphages by us blocking. So that's good. We could kill the Queen, but I'm really thinking we need to kill Bowzer this turn. Because that's one player out that we can... I guess they could bounce something. I don't know. That's hard. Oof. Okay, we're gonna try to take out Bowzer. I want to. If this deck was going, they just remanded Volrath. Queen has mana open, so they could do something, and they have a full hand. But Calamax doesn't really. They did draw a card, but I don't know really what they think they're going to do with it. So I think I just want to try to take them out and see what I can do. Because they've been doing burn, and we know that they have a burn deck primarily. And unfortunately, that's actually it for Bowzer. Bowzer is going to lose the turn, or lose the game this turn. They are minus 14 life. Yup, they're the dead zone. They're done. Bye-bye. Horde of Notions might have to be next. I don't know. And we get 2 copies of Flying Adaphage. So we have this one and one more now. This one here. Okay. So that will make good blockers. That sets us up to defeat Horde of Notions next turn, so they really have to get something flying or be able to sweep the battlefield somehow. And actually, they kind of can, so that's the sneaky thing. The thing that we haven't that I'm claiming that we haven't forgotten, but we totally did until just now. Okay. Untap, draw. Well, upkeep. We need to put 2 cards into our graveyard: Illusionist Bracers and Golgari Grave Troll. Okay, so we're going to draw a card for the turn. Oh, wait, we have Golgari Grave Troll. Let's put it into our hand and dredge 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So a bunch of land, Fault Grinder, and Fist of Suns. So I guess not really that great. Okay. That's the stuff that we have. Let's play a swamp. Mainly because we don't want to have a come into play tapped land. Okay, so they have 2 7/7s. They can block 2 things. Oh, they're probably going to block Soul to Harvest. What is Splinter Fright? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is a 5/5 with trample. We don't really have the ability to get it up that much higher, unfortunately. Not right now. Let's see. We need a lot of mana for Horde of Notions. How much mana do we need? We need 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana. Jeez. So if we just take that, that's 8 mana, 9 mana, leaving us with 3 left over. That's not a lot to do anything with. Certainly not what we want to do, because we have 7. We're going to use 7 mana this turn, for sure. Okay, we're attacking all out. That's how it happens. All out. They are going to against the Volrath deck, so they are going to absolutely block the 2 biggest creatures. Those 2 are going to die. We're going to deal 7 damage to them. So showing here, 7 damage here. Adjust. Okay. Now we are going to plains and high market. That's 3. We need 4 more, so we'll have 5 mana left over. What are we going to cast? I think Golgari Grave Troll. It comes into play with a +1/+1 counter for each creature card in your graveyard. That's good. Okay, although we could, no, that's 5 mana. Okay, so it doesn't matter as long as we have a green. There's a green in there, so that's 7 mana. We are going to 7 mana. We're going to flashback our Divine Reckoning here and destroy. Everybody chooses a creature and then destroy the rest. So we are going to destroy Aether Snipe and then cast Golgari Grave Troll. So Golgari Grave Troll. I'm going to do this real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 creatures in our graveyard. That's really good. Okie dokie. 6 and 2, so that's 8. There we go. Golgari Grave Troll. 8+1/+1 counters. So let's clean up over here, and we'll just keep going around and take our turn as necessary. So that's gone. I'm sorry, Calamax. You tried very hard, but you just were not quite fast enough this time to take the table. Especially didn't help to not have any ramp and kind of lacking on card draw this game. You had almost what you needed. The Comet Storm just needed to be much, much bigger. Okay, so Queen Marchesa is obviously going to get rid of Assassin here, which means that when we lose something, everybody else has to sacrifice a creature. So the beast that we had left is going to go into the graveyard and disappear forever. And that also means that with Volrath, the Volrath deck, whatever they keep, they actually sacrifice everything. So they do lose their entire board here. They do not have flying Adiphages anymore. So let's see. Yeah, the Mist Syndicate Naga is probably what we're going to be rocking with here shortly. Okay. Let me think. Meaning that we're going to put Volrath into our command zone because we're not going to return it to the battlefield, essentially. Okay. Untap. Upkeep. Draw a card. It is a mountain. Still not what we're wanting. Let's go ahead and play a swamp. We are going to pay 2 for Rakdos Signet. We can't really use any of the cards in our hand, unfortunately. I don't even know that we want to play that. Oh, well, yeah, that's what we want to do that. So that if we have to discard something, or I mean, if we have to sacrifice something, like or block with a creature, we have that, and that'll cause everybody to sacrifice things. So we're going to play that out. We're going to end our turn and draw a card from Monarch. Souls of the Faultless. That's slowly getting us somewhere. That's not great, but it's somewhere. It gains us life. That's what we need to be doing. Okay. Over here. Untap. Upkeep. Draw a card. It is Glowstone Recluse. Well, crikey. Let's see. So we want Mist Syndicate Naga. Let's go and pay 3 for that. And we are also going to... Let's go ahead and do this on top of it. So we need 4 mana for that. There's 4 mana. Awesome. Okay, so whenever it mutates, we get 2+1/+1 counters on it. There we go. 2+1/+1 counters. So next turn we're going to Dreamtail Hedron and attack with it. That's our plan. That's what we're going. That's what we're sticking with. Okay, pass the turn. Golgari Grave Troll's turn to smash somebody into the ground. Actually, do we? Is that what we want to do? How much life do we have? We have 12 life. They can deal 8 damage. That's not very much. That's not very much health. It doesn't have trample, though. Did we want to play a creature? Yeah, we're going to... The thing we're going to do is mutate. We're going to play that face down. That's the last thing that we're doing. That way that we have a blocker this turn. That's what we're hoping for, anyway. Blocker. Okay. Untap. Upkeep, draw a card. Upkeep, well, draw a card. Do we have anything in here? No. No real upkeep thing to speak of. Draw a card. Plains. Let's... Do we want another plains? Really, we need other colors of mana. So let's go and put that into play. Well, we need to see. Horde of Notions, we need to pay a lot of mana for. So swamp... Plains, island, mountain. We should have a forest. Okay, so there's that. 2 there. So we have 3 mana left over. Can we do anything with that? We could Life from the Loam. Maybe that's what we do. Maybe we Life from the Loam and drop a bunch of the creatures in our hand at the end of the turn. So let's go ahead and put... This is 9 mana to cast Horde of Notions, which we need to up one more time. Okay. Then we put this into play tapped. We're going to pay 2 mana here in order to play Life from the Loam. Going to return Not Forbidden Orchard. Definitely Command Tower. Let's do that. Let's do that. And let's do that. There we go. Those are some good lands there. 3 lands into our hand. We're going to attack the Volrath deck. Or do we? Okay, so at this point, we're going to attack the Volrath deck, and we're going to attack the Queen Marchesa deck with Horde of Notions. And we're doing that because we really need to put pressure on both of them. So the Golgari is going to be blocked by the face down card that we did, which was Bane of the Living. That's fine. The Queen Marchesa deck, unfortunately, can't just block with Daru Spiritualist. How much life are we looking at? Let's turn this on real quick. Okay, 6 life. Do we block and lose a creature? So basically the question is, with Queen, we could make it so that we don't really lose too much life, in the sense that, well, we could keep our entire life total this turn, or we could take 4 damage now and force them to sacrifice a creature. But we kind of need Volrath to help us, because Volrath is low as well. Horde of Notions is the one that's winning right now. Okay, so we're going to Martyrdom here and make it so that all the damage that would be dealt to us is redirected towards Daru Spiritualist, so that we don't lose any life. That's what we're doing this turn. Okay. So that means that, well, I could make it so that they don't lose any creatures, but I don't really want Volrath to win either. So, yeah, we're just going to protect ourselves. No damage to us. They don't get it. They don't get Monarch. So they have to end the turn. They're going to discard Doomgape is what they're going to do. Yeah, I think that's smart. I think that's, at least I think that's what we want to do, is what I should say. Okay. Let's see. The sack trigger only hits when we actually lose something. Oh, wait, yeah, no, we do. Because we're going to lose Daru Spiritualist either way. Yeah, so they're going to sacrifice the Golgari Grave Troll. That's okay. And Volrath, unfortunately, loses their creature as well. Well, oh well, you're right. I think when I got back around, I would have realized that Daru Spiritualist goes away. Okay, untap. Draw a card. Mountain. Let's play the Mountain. Let's play Souls of the Faultless. So we have something fun here to mess around with. We need white, black, black. There we go. So now, Horde of Notions definitely needs to find a way to get around Souls of the Faultless. Let's see. Do we want to play anything else? We don't really have anything else in our hand, so we'll Monarch at the end of the turn and draw another land. Wow. That's bad. Poor Volrath also getting the short end of the stick. Untap. Draw a card. Swamp, I should say, not Mountain. Let's play that Swamp. That Swamp. Let's get Volrath out. How are we on Volrath? We have played it 1 time. Okay. So 5 mana, 6, 7. That's enough to cast it. That's enough to cast Volrath. Do we have enough for anything else, and that is a no. But we are going to go to combat and put a -1/-1 counter on something. Yeah, I think it's still Horde of Notions. But that also means that we can actually tap 1 and make it a copy of Horde of Notions to get Vigilance, Trample, Haste this turn. And now Horde of Notions is too weak to really block us. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and attack with our Volrath Horde of Notions copy. We do have enough mana to equip. What are we at with the Horde of Notions? I guess we could equip here. That's a good point. That's a really good point. Yeah, let's go and do that. I think it's late for me. That's why it's 10 o'clock now. It's like I'm slowly fading as I look at these cards. It serves me right for starting so late. Oh wait, we have Vigilance. Vigilance, Trample, Haste. So let's go ahead and do that, which means that we'll be dealing 11 damage to Horde of Notions. Thank you for helping me out, by the way. Multiple times now in the last couple turns. Do we block? If we block, we lose Horde of Notions again. We don't really want to. Because we really want to be able to get this stuff out of our graveyard, which we can cast multiple of in a single turn. I think we don't block, but we're probably going to have to block 11, which puts us it puts us really dangerously in close of commander damage. But I think we want to this turn so that we can keep Horde of Notions around. Because we have some pretty nasty stuff in our graveyard that we can get back. Okay, pass the turn. Untap. Upkeep. We do not have an upkeep, but we have a draw effect. We're going to go ahead and get Golgari Grave Troll here. And flip the top 6 cards. So that's 4, 5, 6 right here. Nice, finally. Living Inferno, Smoke Braider, Deep Fire Elemental, Firekin Zealot. Awesome. This into our hand. Creatures we control get haste until end of turn. How much can we do? How many of these can we do? Plains, forest, mountain, island, swamp. Okay, that's one. That's one cast right there. We almost certainly have a second cast right there. So really only 2. Yeah, let's see. Blue, red, white, black. Well, black, green. There you go. Yeah. 3 mana left over. Okay, so let's look at what's in our graveyard. Can we do something about Volrath this turn? That's the really good question here. Because it doesn't really look, from what we can tell, we really don't want to attack Queen Marchesa because she'll just turn the damage, flip the damage back on us with Souls to the Faultless. Okay. So we really need to power out a lot of damage in a single turn. Oh, we have Aether Snipe. Does Aether Snipe and Flamekin Zealot give us what we need? So this would be 5 damage. This is 3 damage, 8 total. Yeah, that's enough to actually kill Volrath this turn. And I think that's what we're going to do. Okay, that's good. Because Aether Snipe, it's an ETB. So we're going to do that. We're going to Aether Snipe and bounce Volrath to its owner's hand. Then we're going to cast a second time to Flamekin Zealot. And that means that we are able to Well, that doesn't tap. So that means that each of our creatures get +1/+1 and haste until end of turn. So this is a 3, this is 5, and that's another 5. That's 13 damage. And Volrath has 12 damage, 12 health. So Volrath is dead, and this is permanently gone over here. Awesome. Okay. Regroup time. We need to pull this out of the way. We're going to move Volrath out off the table now. We're going to move Queen Marchesa into a better position so that we're not having to reach as far and spin as long to get what we need. There we go. There we go. We have it. Now the question is, what can Queen do? Vigilance blocker? No. No, because we bounced the Aether Snipe to their... We used Aether Snipe to bounce the Volrath to their hand. They didn't have anything else. They just had Volrath. So there wasn't a blocker. That's all we cast Volrath and made it a copy of Horde of Notions and then equipped it. And so we had no we had no mana to be able to cast anything else, unfortunately. Okay. Let's see. Untap, upkeep, draw. Another land. All of our lands like 5 turns in a row. Oh no. Okay, and see, my problem here is 2 of the cards that we have in our hand is Pestilence and Phyrexian Arena, which is not going to help us survive this. Souls of the Faultless is the only thing protecting us. Because if they deal enough damage to kill us, then Simulacrum isn't going to save us. So Rugged Prairie. And if we attack, yeah, they can block with Horde of Notions, but we just have to... We'd lose Queen. We wouldn't really gain anything by attacking with Queen, except a blocker, really. Especially when we can hold off on blocks and have Vault of the Archangel. So that's what we really want to do, is gain life so that we can start reusing some of this stuff. So I'm going to end the turn, which is more mana. More mana. That's bad. Very bad. Oh, wait, I needed to do this. So they are the deads. And now it's just these 2. Okay, Horde of Notions. And at the end of their turn, they are going to tap 1 or tap High Market to sacrifice Aether Snipe and Cane Alive. We're going to use the same trick again. And I think that actually wins us the game, honestly. Because that means that we untap, we don't have any other thing here. Oh, I guess actually we would be doing Golgari Grave Troll into our graveyard at the end of turn. Because we actually had 8 cards in hand with Golgari Grave Troll. So this turn we untap, we do Golgari Grave Troll again, 6 more cards, that is 5, 6... And Cloud Thresher, Animar, Soul of Elements, Flamekin Harbinger. Oh, okay. Into the graveyard. I think we just do the same thing again, honestly. Let's see. Well, no, we can actually do... So we can do this twice. So we can bounce both of their creatures just to be safe. What we'll do is we'll pay 5... And we will, because we don't need to deal too much damage. So we will Aether Snipe once to return Souls of the Faultless to their hand. We will High Market, gain a life, be at 14. And that's sacrificing Aether Snipe, which we will then recast from the graveyard a second time. And that will bounce Queen Marchesa to their hand. They have a fistful of cards and a bunch of mana out, but we might as well attack and see what happens here. So let's go ahead and attack with the 2 creatures that we have untapped, which is 6 damage. And let's take a look at the life total. There you go. Queen's Core. Only 6 life, and let's just double check to make sure they don't have anything that they could do. So they have a bunch of mana, the 2 cards that was returned to their hand, and Simulacrum, which only works when you have a creature to actually target with it, and even then it wouldn't help us actually survive. Wow. Aether Snipe coming in clutch at the end. Nice. For Xaxes even. Oh, awesome. That was a good game. I'm glad I picked these decks. I wasn't sure how it was going to play out. Queen Marchesa is a very reactive deck, but I've had it go up against an actual competitive deck like an 8 or a 9 before, and not do too badly. And it did hang in there for quite some time, even still. But when you when you can abuse the graveyard as easily as you can with a Horde of Notions deck, and these are all, I have these off on the side. These are all cards that got exiled earlier, so it had a bunch of kill effects and other stuff get exiled from the graveyard. So yeah, awesome. Well, thank you for hanging out with me. Um, I'm beat. I think you can tell. I'm kind of beat now. I'm gonna call it a night. Again, I do play on Sunday, but it's going to be really beginner decks, and it's going to be all just trying to actually explain it. It's in the middle of the day when I'm actually more awake, so I can actually focus on this better. Um, but then Wednesdays and Thursdays, I'll do something more like this. That's meant to be any kind of decks that I just happen to have. Um, I did a couple of months ago. I did 3 weeks of just guild deck, like guild colored decks. So I pitted 10, or I pitted 10 two-color decks against each other essentially. Not all at once, over 3 weeks. Sure. Let me see what you got there. Amato stacks. I'm saying the word wrong, so I apologize. But um, I I've I have known that can be as a stack. I asked about planeswalkers first because it seems like when they're really dedicated decks, I see a lot of planeswalker. I've heard that it ends up being planeswalker, or it ends up being a stack. So let's see here if I can try to grab it real quick. So let's see. You do have a lot of planeswalkers even still, but all of the ones that I would have thought. Let's see, I haven't seen the Teferi yet, but I don't know any new cards really. Ugin Spirit Dragon, awesome. Karn, awesome. Mind Sculptor, awesome. Let's see. A lot of the good bounce stuff. And definitely some control effects like Draneth. That's going to be good. Let's see. Opposition Agent, of course. Such a good one. Sorry, I don't know if I moved a little bit away from my microphone. I should have pulled it back with me as I looked at the computer. Yorion to get even more bounce stuff. A lot of great tutors. How is a Diabolic tutor treating you? Are you going to try to find something that costs a little bit less mana, or do you like it at that mana cost? Because I was thinking, because they did release Grim Tutor, right? I guess that does come with a little bit of life loss, but there are some other options, I guess, other than Grim Tutor's not the only one, of course. I guess Diabolic Tutor, or not Diabolic, Diabolic Intent. That's what I mean. Yeah, it's good for its mana cost, but I was wondering if if you were going to end up trying to narrow the mana down even further on it, just so that you have a lot of, or so, so that your deck is as low mana cost as you can possibly make it. I guess I do see Vampiric Tutor down there, but I was like, I'm missing one, but I couldn't think of what it was. I guess Mystical Tutor. I'm trying to see. I guess if you had Mystical Tutor, that could be a replacement, but it's really what you're using the Demonic Tutor or Diabolic Tutor for. Let's see. Failure to comply. That's pretty good. Some pretty decent counter spells there. Let's see. And your artifacts. Some ramp, some return stuff with Elixir of Immortality, doubling up on the end of the battlefield effects with Panharmonicon. Do you have the? I'm looking here in it. The brown version of Panharmonicon, like the or mono brown artifact version. Do you like it? I like the brown background for artifacts. I kind of wish they never moved away from them, honestly. And Witch Claw Talisman is probably really good with Imito, right? Because it can, yeah, not exile another target, so you can just keep reusing it. I mean, I guess, let me think. It's funny, the brown background. I have Judge's versions of a bunch of the different swords of blank and blank. Because I just really like that brown background. Let's see. Wiretapping, that's another one that I don't know. Ageless Insight. No, this looks like a pretty good deck, honestly. I was trying to think of if... How committed to the stacks are you? I always think whenever I hear stacks, I can't help being like, okay, so where's the smokestack? Since it's so iconically stacks. Yeah, but overall, not too bad, not too shabby. I like it. Probably take down some decks with this. Nice. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, that's certainly a way to do it, and it's a good way. I mean, it's it's a good deck. I mean, the cards are all good here. All of these are good cards. I mean, like I honestly, the Diabolic Tutor is the only one that made me wonder because all the other ones are stuff that other than new cards, of course, because I don't know the new cards, but otherwise, all of these cards are cards that I would expect to see in deck with these colors and with what you're trying to do. So, great job. Thanks for sharing. Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much for joining me. I'm glad you came around, had some time to talk with me. I think that I'm going to probably call it a night, though. Like I said, it's getting pretty late where I'm at. We're about at 3 hours now, so. I have most of the cards. I don't have all of the cards, but I think I would probably have to take apart some other stuff. I think. I think probably. Yeah. All right. GG and good night. Thank you very much. I don't have anybody to pass this on to, unfortunately. I'm very unfamiliar with the Twitch stuff, so I'm just going to go ahead and put on my ending screen and say, have a great night.